Welcome to another More Than Medicine podcast with Dr. Simone Josey, author, speaker, and physician. Listen in as Dr. Simone shares real-life, practical, everyday survival tips for all healthcare professionals. Let's join Dr. Simone now.
Stress management and having a healthy work-life balance is something that we have got to continuously address in healthcare. Just last week, I had a conversation with 3 different doctors, casually, 3 different specialties, but yet they all had the same feelings. No time for themselves, always giving to others, and wondering when they would get a break. And then with the holidays coming up, there was even more stress on each individual to try and make things better for everyone around them, patients and family members included. This is a problem. We have got to find a better way as healthcare professionals to manage our life, to triage our lives. And so that's what I really want to talk about today, how triage in healthcare is actually hurting us as individuals. And I'll explain more. Keep on listening.
Dr. Simone Josey is a practicing physician, thought leader, professional speaker, and consultant for leadership, professional development, and customer service skills. To find out more about Dr. Simone, visit drsimonesays.com. That's www.drsimonesays.com.
Hello, healthcare professionals. Dr. Simone here. Welcome back to More Than Medicine, your weekly podcast for all healthcare professionals. I'm so very excited to have you listening today. If you are new to the podcast, so very happy that you tuned in. If you notice, there are quite a few other episodes with various topics. So have a listen as soon as this podcast is over. And then I also encourage you to click the notifications tab so that you're alerted every Wednesday when I post new content. Also, too, thank you so much to my returning listeners. You rock. Thank you so very much for your support and your interest, the comments, the likes, the shares. It means so very much to me. And that reminds me, if there's a topic that you'd want for me to cover, if there's a question that you have, a concern, let me know. Reach out to me. I am on social media. I am available. I'll be sure to have my contact information in the podcast notes, as well as somewhere here inserted into the actual audio. So I'm available to you. This podcast is for healthcare professionals. We know that our lives are so much more than medicine, more than our white coat, and more than our stethoscopes. Our lives are very multifaceted, and because of that, we need unique information that caters to our needs. And so that's where I like to fit in. That's where I like to help. That's where my passion is. I want for us as healthcare professionals to be more excellent, more confident, to have a more healthy work-life balance. And so today, that's actually what I'm going to be talking about. This whole business of triage. Honestly, I think that the concept of triage is great for our patients and great for the practice of medicine, but I think it's ruining our personal lives.
Stay connected with Dr. Simone on Facebook at Dr. Simone Josey and on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at drsimonesays.
I'm a surgically trained podiatrist, and in my field, if I get a page at 2 a.m, regarding a patient who is a diabetic with a foot infection, and if they have an ulcer and it's diagnosed as wet gangrene, that is a medical emergency. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, I pretty much am expected and required to drop everything to get to the operating room to medically and surgically manage my patient. So when we triage in healthcare, we basically move the most important things to the top of the priority list. And like I said before, this is good for our patients and for the practice of medicine. Healthcare professionals, the only problem with being so good at triaging in our medical practice is that over time, it desensitizes us. In your life, unless you can see that it is going to threaten your well-being directly, then you might not pay attention to it. You might say, well, my own personal needs can go on the back burner. I don't need to have personal time. I don't need to set boundaries in my personal life. I can be everything to everyone all the time because I don't feel chest pain. I'm not experiencing angina. Maybe you might be thinking that, sure, I'm a diabetic too. And you might give all the education for your patients, and you might have so much compassion and concern and even empathy for the patients that sit in your chair. But yet, for your own self, you figure, look, I'm not developing ulcers. I still have my sight. I don't have neuropathy, so I must be okay. All the while, there could be small things happening to your body that you're not paying attention to because you're so good at triaging. Healthcare professionals provide a burnout, whether you are in direct patient care or in admin, is a real possibility. It's something that we have got to actively combat and prevent. A few weeks ago, I was in Dublin, Georgia, and I gave a presentation about 45 minutes long. And I talked about practical ways to identify as well as prevent provider burnout. And then, of course, I also shared about work-life balance. And that's what we're talking about. When it comes to triaging our patients, we know who to move up to the top of the pile in order to make sure that we provide care urgently. And the same way, if you are in administration, you know that when you look at the books, if things aren't in the black, you know you have to make some changes immediately. And we get so good at that, but then we forget to turn the stethoscope on our own self. We forget to look in the mirror and take care of the person who is caring for everyone else. So I wanted to bring light to this whole triage concept because I see it so many times. Healthcare professionals, we joke about it, right? We tell each other, oh, doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals, they're the worst patients ever because we know what we should do, but we don't always do it. Why do we do that to ourselves? You cannot be anything for anyone if you are depleted. You can't give 110% to your patients, to your coworkers, to your family, to your friends, if you're not taking care of yourselves. So as this holiday season is upon us, and we know there's so many people who are pulling for our attention, and so many patients who want to get things taken care of before they go on holiday break. And we know there's so many patients who want to make a change in the new year. We know that our families are changing so very much with each passing week. You still have to remember that you are important. And so in an essence, I'm advocating slight selfishness in order for you to be able to be selfless for those who need you. So this concept of triage. Do triage for your patients. Definitely triage as far as administration. But in your personal life, when it comes to taking care of you, realize that there are things that we need to do. Precaution steps. Take time for yourself. Carve out moments where you can build into you personal development, like listening to this podcast, professional development, taking time to develop your own skills, taking a step back and thinking, okay, well, what is it that I really want out of this week, out of this day, out of this hour? Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself depleted. You're going to find that you've been giving and you haven't been replenishing. You're going to find that you've been triaging and saying, well, I don't have chest pain, so I must not be under too much stress. Or I'm making it, I'm coping. And you're paying attention to everyone else around you while neglecting your own needs. So that was on my mind. And because I talk to so many healthcare professionals on a daily basis, it's something that I notice people struggle with. And we in healthcare are prone to it more so than others because our life work is helping others. And that's a good thing. We should continue to do that. We strive to do that. That's what we went to school for. That's why some of us are still in debt because of it, right? But in the same vein, you've got to take care of numero uno, yourself. And it's not selfish. It's actually being selfless because you're going to build into yourself so that you can give to others. Healthcare professionals, as we enter into this holiday season, and as you start to make plans for your New Year resolutions, and even if you listen to this podcast in March or April, it still applies. I want for you to take a moment and ask yourself, am I triaging in my own life? And if so, am I doing a good job? Or am I of the mindset, if it doesn't kill me, it can't be that bad? If you are making triage decisions based on life or death, you're doing yourself a disservice.
For free professional development resources, visit DrSimoneSays.com and click the free resources button.
And of course, as a doctor, I never like to present a problem without giving tangible, practical, viable solutions to that problem. Now, on this podcast, there's just no way I would be able to truly share with you the extent of information that I have to actually help you overcome this whole issue of triage that we do in our lives. But in 2018, I'm going to be rolling out brand new information for healthcare professionals who want to pretty much stop the juggling act and come up for air. So many of us are gasping and just struggling and just surviving instead of thriving as healthcare professionals. Well, I want to make sure that I'm helping you in any way I can. So please head over to my website if you're interested in getting more information on how you can make 2018 a better year as far as your work-life balance and being more confident with patients. I want for you to head over to my website, DrSimoneSays.com/air. That's AIR. And on there, you're going to find an easy way for you to sign up for the Up for Air movement. Hundreds of other healthcare professionals have already joined and decided to make next year a better year. And I want for you to be a part of it. So like I said, the website is DrSimoneSays.com/air, AIR. Sign up so that you can find out practical ways to impact your life positively. All right. I wanted to personally invite you because this issue of triage, it's gone on for too long and we can do something about it. All right. So that's what I have for you. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Don't forget to click the notifications tab in your podcast player so that next week when I upload new content, you are alerted. Also, too, you can always join my email listserv so that you can get the information sent directly to your inbox so that you don't even have to worry about getting notified or seeing things pop up, push notifications. It'll be in your inbox. You just click the link and you can directly listen. Okay, healthcare professionals, so thank you so very much. Until next time, I am Dr. Simone, and remember, I will either see you at the top or from the top. You decide.
For a full listing of Dr. Simone's speaking topics and popular presentations, visit DrSimoneSays.com. To join Dr. Simone's exclusive email list, visit DrSimoneSays.com. Your information is never shared, and we at Dr. Simone International respect your privacy.